Welcome, 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 welcome to Wild and Weird Radio Live. Joe made it.
I don't think they saw that I wasn't on here yet.
Yeah, he was literally not there, and then he showed up halfway during the intro. Really cool. Give a quick shout out to everybody out there who is listening, because we have a packed house here out there already.
We got a lot of people hanging out already. Looking
great, guys. Looking great. Let's keep getting them in. We're going to have a good old show tonight. Real good show coming up. I am going to go over here and share this out. Everybody else do the same. Joe,
the chat is active.
Welcome some people up, my friend.
That's what I've been doing. I've been throwing them up. We got Deucer. We got James Boggs, Adam Good, Fishbelly, Pat's in the house. Obviously us. Then we've got Shayna Sheets. Good evening. How we doing? We got, who else we got?
Who else we got, man?
Spooky's obviously here. Theresa Racer's here.
Spooky's doing the rep. Good.
Then let's see. Man, the chat is full.
Yeah. They're trying to break that record, man.
Patrick Noble, he's back. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Pat. They're trying to break the record, man. If they break the record, they know they're going to get something really cool.
Adam Good says Sky Daddy McConaughey wants people to smash the like button.
Smash that like button. Smash it and continue to smash it. And share and share and share. Let's get some spooky music going. Spooky music is provided by none other than the magnificently talented Mr. Dave Roberts over there in the Space Brothers, which is David Deweese and myself, along with the talented Mr. Dave Roberts over there. Now, Dave's actually he is actually a ambient musician. You can pick up his CDs and whatnot out there. He's really talented. So we're very lucky to have people who can, do some of the things that other people have to pay for.
Right?
Yeah, definitely.
There's so much stuff that we don't have to do in-house because...
Yeah. It's so true, man. It's so true.
We don't have to outsource it. We're able to just do it in-house. It makes things...
I don't know what the heart is, but I clicked it. Okay. Well, that's great. That's great, guys. So anyway, we've got a quite a good little show lined up here tonight for you guys. We might have a guest. We might not. I don't know what's going to go on with that, but we do have a topic, and the topic's kind of interesting. I think you guys brought it up. I've heard it in passing a few times, but I noticed that there's other things that are kind of out of place, and I said, well, let's just do something on the oddities, the historical oddities, and not just here, but everywhere, obviously. And boy, there's a lot of them. I mean, you could go right into the whole out of place artifacts thing. It goes into a lot of speculation, which will be a lot of fun. I think the audience is going to dig it. Audience, are you going to dig it or not? Am I wrong or right? I don't know. And then later on, if we have time, we're going to be doing an Ovilus experiment. And the audience is going to help, and we're going to try to break reality. If you're all up for it, you good? Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So we're
I think the heart is only over on the Facebook side.
Oh, that's why we can't see it.
Yeah, we can't see it over here. Like, it'll show up beside the eyeball.
I got you.
We'll get like a thumbs up and a heart or whatever, or an angry react, whatever anybody throws in there. We'll see it, but you can't actually do anything over on the YouTube side.
I got you. Well, that makes sense.
You can send emojis. Yeah. That's about it.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can send emojis on the YouTube side.
Oh, okay. Well, all right then.
So yeah, literally, can you dig it? A lot of this alternative history is stuff that's been buried literally twice.
Maybe more times.
once by whatever catastrophe buried it in the first place, and then by whoever it was that dug it up or confiscated what was dug up.
Right.
You know what's funny? There's actually been instances where archaeologists have buried things to hide them for the off season, and then they come back and forget where they buried it at.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Yeah,
I really,
you know, woolly mammoth, our
Well,
buddy,
yeah.
the T-Rex.
What was that?
The T-Rex Science Center.
Is are the walls collapsing?
I know, right? That's what it sounded like. I just knocked.
Is that the reptile light again?
No, not this time.
It's coming to get you, man.
This was just something falling off my workstation.
I don't know.
Into my toolbox.
Maybe.
Yeah. Anywho,
go ahead.
He had told us about how on the off season, you know, they would find something just before the season would end, and they would bury it, and hope to go back and try to find it the following season. So you know, you hope you're the one that finds it, not somebody that is just cruising along, digging on, you know, rights and claims that aren't theirs.
Yep.
Right, man. Right. Exactly.
So it's it can get a little squirrely.
It can get a little interesting, right? You guys saw that story, right? The kid who found that incredible artifact.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of digging it, I mean, oh my! What? You didn't see it?
Yeah, I missed that. I guess.
Oh, dude!
It's a find of a lifetime.
Find of a lifetime. Maybe a find of 2 lifetimes.
He's like, what, 11 years old, was it?
Yeah, man. It's just an amazing story. Just such a great story.
Let's see it.
It was an 11-inch or 14-inch Jasper point, or it looked like the top of a.
It's magnificent.
It could, it might have been some kind of an axe, or it was a spearhead. But the way the rear was faced, like the wide end, it was actually like napped away to be at a point. It looked like it was that, or it could have even been a big skinner.
It was a masterpiece, is what it was.
It was very well made.
It was only 3/8 of an inch thick, is what it was. I mean, that's any time that you're napping, you get these things made. When you get something really long like that, and you start going, you know, a little shallower with it and getting it thinner and thinner, there's a good chance you're going to break it. And, dude, just an amazing, amazing story. I'm trying to find it right now. I don't know where it is. I thought I sent it to you, Joe.
You did. I think it's actually in the chat, the Wild and Weird chat. You sent it late last night.
Where I'm at. I can't find it.
But, wow. I mean, he found it actually embedded in the riverbank and went over and started digging at it, and what started off as a small little exposed point turned into.
If you read the whole thing, it's a big long story. She found it in one of those shell deposits in the Midden deposit, like we were talking about. You know
everything changed.
Yeah, the Shell Road, and then at the end, when they went on vacation and he came back, he was going to go back out there to do it again, and he had flooded, and the whole thing was just gone. Like, if he wouldn't have found it when he found it, that is an amazing story, guys. Just an amazing, amazing story. Yeah, it was awesome.
You'd never find it again.
No.
Because at that point it'd be at the bottom of the river.
Yeah, I love stories like that, because that's just like, wow. Once in a lifetime, once in a lifetime.
Oh, speaking of Native American stuff, we've been invited to go present our Bigfoot data for 2 days at the Thunder in the Mountains powwow.
Yep, that's right.
Well, that's cool.
And that's a big deal. Yeah, that's a big deal. That's really cool, and I'm very that's amazing. So that's very, very cool. We got a few Facebook users out there, it looks like, right?
We do.
I see you guys. I see you guys. You trying to transcribe who they are? Because
I'm over there now, just trying to, because there's a few different shared out areas. I'm trying to find where the Ada Cox is one of them.
okay, Terry's over there. I see Terry.
Yep.
Yeah, there's Terry.
So we got I think it's Ada Cox and Terry are the two. We got.
Okay, that's who we got.
There's a link that you have to click on in the description. It'll say like streamyard.com/Facebook or something. You got to click that and then hit allow a couple of times, and then your name will show up for us.
Yeah, they've
That way
got
we
it.
can tell who you are. That's Facebook.
Harry Summerfield says the Vonic Manuscript. You have to look it up if you aren't familiar with it. It's fascinating.
Oh yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yep.
We had brought that one up in a episode, I think 2 years
I
ago.
think the Catholic Church at one point had deemed that as like satanic text.
They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did. They absolutely did. Comes 1, 2, and 3. Connected.
Pat says, I'm really looking forward to Thunder in the Mountains. Yeah, we are too. I think it's going to be an
Where's that going to be?
It's October 14th and 15th.
Yeah.
Oh, where is it?
14th
in Fayetteville.
15th.
Oh yeah, you'll get some Bigfoot reports out there.
That's what we're hoping.
Well, we're thinking we might, man. We're
hoping
thinking
to collect some reports. We're going to have our track cast collection out there. Plus, I got some friends I'm going to ask for permission to take some of the cast copies that we have in our collection to put them on display as well. I think that'd fill out a table really, really nice for people to be able to see them.
Mm-hmm.
Make people feel like they're not so crazy when they see it in person.
Well, I want to take ours for sure, not just the copies, obviously, because there's some good ones. Look
Adam Good is making me watch while I'm at work. It didn't take much arm twisting.
Ha
While you're at work.
Because the Wineberry cast, for example.
Yeah.
That thing's
Wineberry casts, new casts that have come out of the Wineberry area.
Right, exactly. The one that looks almost exactly like the first one.
The one that looks almost exactly like the first one. And, you've got the Canoa cast, which was the salamander.
Yes.
Were the first big ones.
Yes.
Those were perfect specimens for this kind of environment we're dealing with.
Yes, that's absolutely right. So very, very good stuff. Anybody out there got any questions? Because we're going to be going into just on and off talking about these things. And I'm over here working on getting I'm trying to get the show going for you so we can, you guys can see what's going on. I'll pop it up here for just a second. And we're going to make sure it works. And as soon as we make sure it works, we're going to go off of it, and we'll get back to it later. But I just want to make sure everything's working here. Can you guys see this? Is everything good there?
Yep.
Okay, so you can. Okay, cool. That's good then, right? It's working.
Yep.
All right, awesome. Okay, let's go back to normal. There we are. So. Yeah, we're going to be running a little test after a while, and you guys are going to help.
Fun times.
Oh, absolutely. I would never use our audience as guinea pigs. You know this.
Never.
Nope. It'd be kind of like something that the NIDS boys did back in the day. We wouldn't do anything like that. No, sir. Not us.
Yeah, Ada, if you guys can make it down, come and hang out with us. We're going to be there for 2 days, set up under one of the main tents, I think, is where they've got us. We'll be there both days, all day.
Yeah, it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be absolute blast. Okay, so let's start digging. You guys briefed me on a little bit of some stuff that I had heard about, but never really quite looked into as much as I probably should have. Other than the fact that I think what you're getting at is it's evidence that maybe the Vikings may have been here, or some kind of a European influence far before our, I won't say our because it's not really mine, but most of the European ancestors came in. And then wiped out my ancestors. Those people. Sorry about that.
Well, I had both ancestors here.
We do.
I had Viking and First Nations. They liked each other.
Yeah.
So that's how I wound up here.
That's how the Purdues were born.
Pretty much.
Yeah. They're weird. They're a weird lot. Adam Good. I am the sponsor. He is. It's like the Highlander. Like there can be
There
only
can only
one,
be one.
and
Yep.
apparently it's Adam because vying for that, man. Me too, Joe. There you go.
Who was that?
At this point,
Dewey.
Adam has gave
Dewey.
us so much money this month, he could have bought a shirt.
Dewey is also a sponsor, by the way. So
Yeah.
just letting you guys know. And your goods will be shipped out, you sponsors. You'll be getting your little prize here by the, what is it? Today's Thursday, Friday, probably Monday. You'll probably get it Monday, I'd figure, is when it'll be on your doorstep.
That's cool.
Yeah, because I completely forgot to mail them out this week. So
one of the biggest things that kind of, at least in the Appalachian region, that
bidding war is going on. Look at that. Look at that.
I am the sponsor.
Oh, spooky. That was a valiant effort, my friend, and we thank you because every dollar helps. Believe me,
it helps, man.
It does.
And that was something. But I think Adam beat you on this one, brother. That's just
so in the Appalachian mountain range, mostly the central to northern part. You don't get as much of this down in the southern Appalachian range. So we're not talking like South Carolina, Georgia area.
okay.
We're dealing with these etchings that we find on some of the sandstone walls here. And it's a language called ogum.
Okay.
And
what does that mean exactly, Joe?
Well, the ogum people, when they came here, they were ancient Celtic people, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And when they came here, this was like way before writing and manuscript. It was one of the earliest form of writing is the ogum text. And it's essentially a series of dashes and lines.
Okay.
But they're very, very specific.
So how do they differ from those hoaxes that we showed on the live on the special West Virginia Day live there last week?
See, that's the thing.
Huh? How do
They're
they differ
really
from
similar.
those?
If you find some of the ogum markings, they look a lot like
How do they differ
this.
from this?
Now you're not going to see as many like the D shape, how you have those curved letters and how you have the lines in between them.
Sure.
But you're going to see these parallel lines with lines that go through them, kind of like how the X shapes are here. You're also going to see some that look like F's with a letter, like a branch coming off of them. And you're going to see other different ogum text, and they're really unique. We're looking at and they're identifiable. There's recorded text over on the other side of the pond as well that match these manuscripts, but nobody really knows what they say.
Huh.
What's interesting too is there actually is a recorded story of a group of Irish monks whose ship was lost at sea. I think it was in the 13th century.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a theory that they might have actually washed up on the shores of America and made their way inland.
Okay.
Because there's an author, his name's Scott Walter. He wrote a book called The Hooked X, and he's been really interested in that particular topic, especially the Viking runestones in the Midwest. But he says you can actually trace it. It starts from the coast of North Carolina and comes up to Virginia, and then it takes a sharp left and comes up through West Virginia and makes its way all the way up to Michigan.
Okay.
If you follow the evidence that they found so far, it's almost like the exact path that these people took until it suddenly disappeared.
Huh.
As far as we can tell.
Well, that's definitely interesting. I'm trying to get us a picture up here.
Well, I'm trying to figure out where I can send it in here to James Boggs. Holy crap, man!
Wow.
What I missed? What I missed?
James Boggs just donated $10, man.
James, thank you, my friend.
That is definitely worthy of
so
Sky
much.
Daddy.
Sky Daddy is coming. So hang on for you guys. This is for you guys.
We might have to edit that out, Ron.
And yeah, I'm ignoring you. Okay, here we go. Ready? Wait, that's weird. Down on my preview, it shows you in the middle, Brandon, but up here it shows you where you should be. I was confused for a second. That's weird. Anyway, yes, James, make sure that you get us your mailing address as well, my friend. We're going to be sending you something.
Yep. Well, something's going to be coming to you in the mail.
Something be coming your way. All right, what was I doing? I was trying to get that picture up here for you guys. I found the image. I see why it won't come up. It's a WEP. All right.
I got a PDF I can send you if you want it.
Yeah.
There's actually 3
won't share
examples of
PDF.
ogum that's not very far away from where we are right now.
There are, absolutely.
There's
They're right
what?
there. Most of them are in Logan, in the Logan area.
Really?
Yeah. Then there's one
Okay,
set
I
of
found a
markings up in
PNG.
the
This'll
Monongalia
work.
Forest as well.
Okay, so let's talk about that. How'd they get there?
Well, you're dealing clearly with a culture of people who technically weren't supposed to be there. They were either displaced or they traveled here on purpose.
Okay.
Um,
James, I gotta ask, did you do the super sticker? Is that what I'm seeing there? Because I've never really understood how any of that stuff works.
yeah.
Is that what that was?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So the artifacts are there, right? That's what we're saying.
Yep.
But
Nobody's
they
really interested in looking
Yeah.
into how they got there.
That's what I want to know. Like, do we have any clear cut? Here they are.
Yep.
Do we have any clear cut like archaeological verification, validation, anything like that, or is it just like, well, it's there? And
Well, the one in Mingo County actually has a plaque on it. Oh, wow.
Jesus almighty! I think I just fell out of the chair.
Theresa.
You guys, thank
I
you
think we'll have to take our shirts off for that one.
so much. I'm not, but that's up
I mean,
to you.
I'm not beyond it.
That's not what this
I'll
show
do it
is.
right now.
No,
Right
no, God, don't.
happening right now.
She's gonna refund.
Right now.
Oh, jeez. Anyway, that's enough of that.
You
So,
guys missed it. My shirt came off, guys.
yeah, it actually did.
Ron
Like this
and Brandon
picture is
were-
never coming
yeah.
down.
Thank
You guys
God
did it too.
I have this PNG up because I don't want to give a refund to everybody.
James Boggs says,
Theresa is the sponsor now.
you guys are all going to be getting some
Yeah.
awesome stuff in the mail soon.
Yeah, for sure.
Just make
Hey,
sure you send us your mailing address.
Adam and Teresa, you're going to the thing next week, so I can probably just drop yours off.
Oh,
at,
yeah.
at it. So I'll bring him along with me, and then we got to get James out.
Yeah, we'll send James. We'll mail James his.
Yeah. So let's talk about these again. I mean, I love you guys. Thank you so much for donating. That was just beautiful. You have no idea how much that comes in handy right now.
Yeah.
But what am I looking at? Okay, I'm looking at a rudimentary alphabet, basically,
Very
right?
archaic alphabet. Yes.
Okay.
One of the most rudimentary alphabets out there. It's based off of lines
Okay.
with crossing lines through.
So let's look at this. Now let's look at the say we look at the Braxton County stone first.
Do we see it similar?
I actually do. I mean, I do see a similarity here, especially up there in that E and A. You see that?
Yep.
There's
the only difference that you're seeing in those in both the Moundsville tablet and the Braxton County tablet is there are curved lines. So that would, to me, that indicates a civilization using a slightly more advanced alphabet.
Yeah.
Is it me or does that bottom marking almost look like a long sword?
It does, and that's one of the theories. Honestly, I've heard before that was, but it's also. It could be a representation of, 4 directions. It could be, basically a cross.
And then we have the same kind of marking on the bottom here, and this does look like a French rapier.
And let's look at this
It does, yeah, or like a rose maybe.
It could be a flower or a rose, but this, I mean, that looks like a French rapier with the handle. That's,
It really does. I mean,
Yeah.
it looks just like it's got the guard, right? That's what you're.
the hand guard.
Yeah, the hand guard, that belled hand guard, which is very strange.
But it could also be a signature.
It could be. Yeah.
It could be a signature of who wrote that. Like it could be the name of who wrote it or the tribe that wrote it. Because if you notice the difference between this one and the Braxton County stone, it's literally that little blob at the end.
Mm-hmm.
it's still the same. It's the line, the vertical line is nearly in the same placement.
So I think we can see why they say that it's possibly a hoax, right? Just because it's so. I mean, what's the chances, right? What are the odds that one would be found and and look this close?
Well, and Theresa, we really appreciate everything you've done to help us as well. And again, we're going to be seeing Ron. Will see you next week. I'm going to try my best to get there. But it will definitely. I will see you the next time at the Bigfoot Workshop.
Yes, she'll be at the Bigfoot Workshop too.
We'll definitely be able to show some extra things there.
And that's shaping up really good, by the way. Just to let you guys know.
Guys, it's about halfway sold out. Yep, so anybody who's wanting to go, it's only been announced for a week. And
we're approaching our halfway mark at this point, so it's going to go fast. Okay, so I see one down here Anita just threw in. Let's pop that up there, Joe.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so
there is the Knights Templar theory, but the Knights Templar were far more advanced, like in literature and in their spelling and in their,
they would have been using like old French or old.
Old only reason that I could say that it could be something like that would be if we look at this a little close. There may or may not be some of those X's that have the mark, but that it just doesn't look Templarish to me.
It looks more Middle Eastern.
It really does. Now, this one, I can see like one or two symbols that you could possibly say, and that rose possibly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like James's thing. I like to know this too, my friend. And that's why we don't really think that it's 100%, hoax, as more of it's just a misunderstood something. That it's something. It's just that they can't validate it. And what we got? We got our tickets. It's Ada.
It's for the Bigfoot. Excited to have you out there. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah, you're gonna have so much fun. We have so many new toys to play with this time. You're just gonna have a blast. And you guys do want to stay and go on the actual hike. It's going to be a blast. Trust me. It's not strenuous. We don't go very far out there. We just go into a nice dark area, and it's just perfect. You can hear really good. So
we had some people bringing up the Rosicrucians, which it's possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's 100% possible that you could have a secret order that's over here because, let's look at some of that. I mean, those guys went everywhere, right?
And they did have sometimes they did sometimes have a secret language.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, they didn't want to be found out in a lot of these cases. A good point would be, I know they're milking the show, but, the whole Oak Island thing, they found so many traces now of possible Templar activity on that island, which is what I've always said, that it was the Templar treasure. I mean, because come on, who had the power to do what it took to make that trap?
The means to make bury that kind of a
Exactly. And I think there might be a UFO buried there. I think they buried a UFO there. No, I'm kidding. It's a chariot. It's called a chariot back then.
I was Wayne sighing somewhere.
What happened? Oh, I got you. I see what you're doing. That was funny.
Well, I see what James said. Didn't they prove that Cherokee and Jewish had relations? I'm not sure if it was particularly the Jews, but I do remember, I think it was the Berbers and the Turks and other Middle Eastern DNA is like identical. They have identical markers with a high percentage of the Cherokee tribe that had been tested with DNA.
James also asked, could it be a Proto-Indian script? Well, the problem here is we would be talking about possibly Paleo-Indian. So it would be back there, right?
It would also be the first evidence they actually had a written language. As far as we know of, they never did.
Right, it's symbolic. There's a lot of symbols, an incredible amount of symbols. There is a language. I mean, the Shawnee actually had, pretty much an alphabet. I've got some stuff around here. I don't have it in here right now, but there's actually an alphabet there. But I don't know when, they adopted that, so I can't say how old these are. That's our problem. We don't know how old these things are. If we could date them, we'd know what we were looking at.
Theresa said, it's very interesting, James, that like most Appalachian families, I was always told that I had a few Cherokee ancestors. But when I did my DNA, I came back with a huge percentage of Jewish ancestry. Very surprising to all of us.
Well, there's some validation, possibly.
Right.
James also brings up it could be the writings of the mound builders.
It could be. Absolute. And Adam is going after Theresa hard and heavy. I'm just going to declare you both winners. You're both.
Yeah. Let's put a stop to the bidding war.
You're both perfect.
Wow.
You're both the sponsors for it looks like the next 2 months.
Thing that empowers me. I feel everything. I know everything. I am everything.
You guys are great. I mean, I don't think we could found
it. Sounds like a villain from
Greater
He-Man.
Cherokee written language was post-colonial. It was a requirement for acceptance by English society. That it was.
It was, yeah.
We actually learned that from a friend of ours who is
not only
of Cherokee history.
They actually absolutely had to learn it, or physical,
or else.
Not good. Not good.
She
still beat you by a penny.
Oh, good grief.
Oh, you guys are wonderful. You kill me. You absolutely kill me. Yeah, you're a mess tonight. How many of you guys enjoyed that Wild and Weird West Virginia special we did there? Did you get to see it? Because if you didn't, there's going to be an abridged version of it that you don't have to sit through, all 2.5 hours of it. I tried to make it a little bit shorter for you guys and cut out some still stuff and whatnot. But we talked about a lot of this kind of stuff on there as well, didn't we? I mean,
it came up.
Yeah.
We're on the special live we did Tuesday.
Yeah, it did. So we're kind of proving that maybe just, possibly that.
Point, Pat.
What is it?
He did send $4.99 earlier.
He did. That's what I was counting on. And he sent $1. Didn't he do $1
first?
Yeah, I think. It's like to test it and make sure, I guess. I don't know what.
James, glad you enjoyed the special live show on Tuesday. That was fun.
Yeah, it was a fun one. I really enjoyed that show. So, all right. Archaeologists say no, but we say yes. Is that what I'm hearing?
We say maybe. Like,
we say maybe.
And I'm more into the yes. Like if this side is yes and this side is no.
Yeah.
Needle is like leaning.
Okay.
This way.
Okay.
Because
so if it's not yes, then how can we explain it? So go.
Well, for me, because I always come at everything at this point where I try to look at what exists, what we know, before I really dive in and jump into like speculation and whatnot. Because a lot of the times when we start speculating on how it could have been, how this blah, 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 we will overlook so many things that we know for a fact about history that would have completely overwritten some of the speculation.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So what you're saying is aliens.
Aliens. No, we do know for a fact that Leif Erikson made a trek, not once, but multiple times, into the North American continent.
That's right.
Not just Iceland, not just Greenland, but beyond. Landing in Canada and came... The original sources said that he came as far south as into New York.
Yeah.
Because he had went beyond the falls there at Niagara and down farther into southern New York, and then turned back. However, that's just what he did. We don't know how big the party was that he came with, and how many of them were like, no, I don't really want to go back to the harsh landscape that we lived in. Sure. Look how lush and green everything is here. Look at how well the crops grow that have been planted. Look at how well our herd animals do here on this land. I don't want to leave. Mm-hmm, And the Nordic people were not like, well, you either come with us or you're dead. They're like, okay, cool. Well, you set up a settlement here and make sure it's on a river. That way, we can commute back. And if you want to, meet up, we'll have friendly markers up and down the rivers. That way we can find you.
Okay.
That was very par for the course in Europe. So we can assume that took place here as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So I believe that based off of what we do know with Northmen coming across the waters and then coming south, that they very well may not have been the first ones to do it, because there were rumors. The whole reason that Leif Erikson went in the first place was because of rumors of land that was plentiful that was to the west.
Okay.
To keep sailing west
Mm-hmm.
and keep moving, because you would find a land that was lush and green, and the seasons were never as barren and harsh as what they experienced year in, year out.
Okay, so let's think about that for a second. And then let's think about Fallen Worlds, because it all relates at this point, I think. I think that what you just said is kind of like where we are at this point. We're trying to track down these, this missing land, so to speak, right?
Yep.
And it kind of sounds like that's exactly what Erickson was trying to do at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
He was following leads from an old legend, that probably predated him by who knows how long.
Well, yeah, he was Eric the Red was his dad.
Okay.
And that's why it's Leif Erikson,
Sure.
right? Mm-hmm. So Eric the Red had came here before.
Mm-hmm.
But he did not stay. He hit land, had some issues with the native population and left. And then when they came back, it was a little bit different relationship.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't know too is that North America at the time, its population was about 3 times what it was in Europe.
Yeah,
natives.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like this country was teeming with native tribes back then, back before white people got here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, 100%. It was a massive colonies here, which was amazing. Mm-hmm. That's what people don't understand. They just don't get the amount of decimation that took place, and I don't know. I could go into that, but we're not going to. It's kind of depressing. But the point is, I mean, they were here, obviously, right? That's what I'm getting at. And they probably did bring some of the goods in and traded. That's probably how we get some of these out of place artifacts. That's where I'm trying to go with this.
There were also some early white settlers, English settlers, who said that they encountered natives that had blue eyes.
There you go.
How do you get that?
They were,
yeah, there you go.
That doesn't happen naturally with Native Americans.
It can happen naturally, but they wouldn't just had blue eyes. They would have also been very pale and had white hair.
Mm-hmm.
Because they would have been displaying a form of albinism or leucism. That's the only way that the blue eyes would have appeared in native tribes.
They're what Anita just
like
popped
without
up.
any kind of outside DNA. Anita says, okay, botanist weighing in here. The proof in the pudding is sweet potatoes, yams are native to South America. Yet when sailors hit Polynesian islands and Hawaii, etc., the same plants were growing there as staple food crop. Yeah, it pretty much. I mean, there's not. I've not seen, as far as the Polynesian islands, I've not seen too many debates on that fact because of how plentiful yams and things of that nature were growing on the islands, and that there were also species on that islands that wasn't supposed to be there, species of insects that weren't supposed to be there because they were native to European countries or native to like Vietnam or here in the States.
Yeah. James, I read somewhere the Indians of Mississippi Valley have Viking chainmail when Europeans first contacted them. I don't know. You guys heard any of that?
I have heard some of that. And we had actually, it's been forever ago. Do you remember the episode where we were talking about, because it came up in that episode, We were talking about the episode where Kanoa Flint was found in native burial sites down in like around Miami, Florida.
Barely.
That was one of they're talking about the trade routes up and down the river systems, up and down the Mississippi, and how there was everything from Spanish coins to Kanoa Flint to chainmail and things like that, like specifically Viking chainmail.
Okay.
That was being found in some of these areas, and it was indicative of a massive trade route that was occurring either along the coast of the Americas or up and down the Mississippi River, going between some of the Great Lakes and down into the Gulf.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting. I mean, I can definitely see that we have the evidence. So my question is this. Again, why is this a threat to history?
That's a good question.
Yeah, why does this shock anyone? I mean, why is this like so?
I think it's because our ancestors clung to the Christopher Columbus story so hard for multiple reasons that they're just unwilling to give it up today.
Okay. London Blue asked a good question there, actually, that needs to be addressed.
Could some of the plants and insects not have come from the supercontinent collision? Maybe, but I mean, you're talking millions and millions of years. Those species were on the same evolutionary level as existing current species.
And you have to remember, it didn't really just. This is more like,
and then right back apart. It was a very, very, very slow process.
Yeah.
Then James brings up, and who was mining copper in the Great Lakes? Who built the dam at Smithers?
So we have evidence that we had a little bit of a more advanced culture here, right? Is that what we're trying to say?
It might be where a lot of the legends that natives have of these gods who had white skin and stuff like that might be where all that comes from.
Yeah, not all of it. But, most of these Vikings didn't come from the sky. But, there's that.
They think they did.
They think they did.
Well, remember, there's that example in World War II where
it's true.
Americans would build air bases on places, and they stopped coming, and the natives would build the idols,
the cargo cults.
The planes.
Yeah, the cargo cults. Those are fascinating. Yeah, that's true. They would actually, because they wanted the chocolate and they wanted the food that the troops had, because they would come in and give the villagers all this wonderful chocolate, and they were just amazed with it. And then after the war was over, they left and they took with them all their supplies. And so they got the bright idea, hey, let's bring them back. So they went out and they built fake runways. They built airplanes out of bamboo. They still have dances where they look like they're wearing replicas of their shirts. So
helmets and everything.
Yeah, the helmets, all of it. It's just absolutely amazing to look back at some of that stuff. And then you wonder, about tribes like the Dogon, and and you're like, wait a minute, and then you hear the dance of the Kachina, and you hear this whole story, and you're like, wait a second, is this the same thing we have going on here? And if it is, then it might explain some of the stuff that happened right here in our valley as well.
Anita brings up here too that when you look at the sea's horizon, a ship would appear to be emerging from where the sky and water met.
That is true.
That's true. From a physical perspective, it would look like it just appeared.
There's something interesting that I found out when I was doing research for a story that I was writing. In Mexico, in parts of Mexico, there's a ritual. It's a Birdman ritual that some people do where they'll dress like Birdman and leap off a house to replicate the flight of the Birdman.
That sounds like it could be dangerous.
Do they start off by saying, hello, my name's Johnny Knoxville, and then throw the hood on their hat?
Don't do this. Yeah.
There's another one too where they will they climb this huge pole and do this weird dance at the top of it while dressed like the Birdman.
Then they descend.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, the Birdman cults are very interesting. Very, very interesting.
James brings up about the cargo cults is a really good.
Yakila Island. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what's funny is I drove right past that when we were going to Jacksonville, and I
Hey,
was
Russ.
like, why does that place sound so familiar? I can't remember why.
Wow. I'm going to go check the... you guys might be breaking the chat barrier. I'm going to go check this.
Nice.
Yeah,
Might be.
I think they are.
So when we talked a little bit about Muscle Shell Road,
Yeah, we did.
and it's one of those things, just like the ogum writing being found is way out of place, because this is a Northern European style of road. It was built here and out of place, shouldn't be here.
Oh yeah, they're breaking records, my friend. They're already at 300 messages, and we're not even that far into the show. So,
Wow.
yeah, they're
Adam Good says, "I'll build a runway if it brings me Tim Tams."
Man.
So, didn't you say it was like a rudimentary concrete that they made it into?
Yes. So the interesting thing about mussel shells is that they act as a binder for concrete. And for the longest time, like when you bought concrete, they would pulverize shell or chalk or something, and that would be one of the binders that would connect all of the little tiny bits and gravels and whatnot to make it solidify into a road. And they had used a ton of mussel shell with gravel and sand and dirt and mixed it into this concrete and laid the concrete, and the roads were intersecting at 90 degrees. And it was almost as if there was these little towns. And unfortunately, not a single chunk of these roads were preserved. They were all ground up, dug up when they put in a dam. And then roads also wound up going over what was left of them. Now you can. There is rumors. I've heard from one person and read it in one book, and they claim that you could go and actually find chunks if you dig around in these areas in the old stream beds and in the old riverbed where the old riverbed was before the dam was put in. They'll actually be able to find some chunks of this, but you actually got to dig some. Sometimes you'll find some after a flood goes through. You'll see some that's been exposed, and then you can dig it out or something. That's just what I've heard. I personally have not been up there to do it. I'd love to go looking, because I would absolutely love to find a chunk of Muscle Shell Road. It is a historical documented site.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, like many historical documented sites here in West Virginia, they were destroyed.
No, of course they were. And I will say this about
nothing to protect things.
I will say this about mussel shells as well. It's important to understand that not all of them were functional as such, that they were literally possibly bulldozed midden mounds, or just mounds in general, and that they were repurposed as roads in some cases as well. Like especially if it's in like a field or something is what I'm getting at. Like if you're out there plowing your field and the field's full of mussel shells, there's a good chance that was either a midden mound or it was a mound at some point.
What's messed up is a lot of the mounds, when they destroyed them, a lot of the dirt from there was used for fertilizer.
Oh yeah,
because,
Patrick just sent a picture he wanted me to ID. Patrick, that is jade, is what that is. Yep, that would be jade. I'm pretty sure it's jade or jadeite. I'd have to see it in person, but I'm pretty sure.
Where was it?
He messaged it over.
Oh. James said, I read in History of Braxton County that when the first settlers moved here at a depth of 30 feet while digging a well, a complete fireplace with a hearthstone was found.
This doesn't surprise me.
That's pretty deep.
Well, yeah, but that's the whole point. This is the hidden history. This is, there are things out there, and someone had mentioned it earlier, way up in the the scrolling there on the chats. Probably about 20, 30 messages back about the coal with something found in it. And we talked a little bit about that. But there's a lot of those, actually. There's not just
Garuda
one.
bell.
You mentioned the bell, but there's another. There's a hammer. There's actually a toad in one. I remember that story very well, which is a very strange tale in general. But yeah, I mean, there's been stuff found by miners looking, and digging stuff out like that, out of place, just out of place stuff, and we try to dismiss it, debunk it, explain it away because it just simply doesn't fit the narrative,
Yeah, there's been some weird stuff that they found in coal in other countries that almost looks like modern technology. There's been like pieces of what look like gears and spokes.
Gears.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've seen a few things. Ike's here.
We got Ike.
Welcome aboard, Ike. You missed the earlier bidding wars. It was fun. You have to go back and watch the
donations. The
video.
The next 2 months of the podcast is now fully funded.
Yeah. Sure looks that way. But yeah, guys, I think that there is an amazing amount of evidence to support, that there definitely was something going on here. And what's really funny about it, if this is true, then we had two opposing cultures, one a little more technically advanced than the other, who came together and they did not fight.
Yeah.
They did not fight, and they did not try to take over each other's territories. They seem to have actually traded, if that's what you're telling me is true. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, and at least with Leif Erikson's journal writings, like he traded often with the tribes. One of the first things that he actually traded was one of their axes.
Okay,
like he
I could see that.
They ran in and he just extended it and traded it right there on the fly to keep from getting shot with a bow and arrow.
Well, I mean, as one would do.
Yeah,
I mean, that would be a good offering.
That helped them through. They were taught how to farm there in that soil with a few new vegetables and such, and it turned out being a rather peaceful arrangement for a while.
The Super Chat Wars are the new series on Discovery Channel, guys. That's good. I like that. That's funny. Anita says that if we need anything, she would. She can apparently make some stuff, and
that'd
prizes,
be awesome.
There's a topic I've been wanting to bring up to you guys forever, and I think this is the best time to bring it up. Have you ever heard the theory? Well, basically, it's not really a theory, but some people claim it's true that there was an ultra powerful empire situated in the northern part of Asia that was basically written out of history.
Again, this doesn't surprise me. What was the name of this one?
It was called the Tartar Kingdom, or the Tartar Empire. And if you look, there's some really old history books that actually have a map of it and a flag for it. And then after about the 14th century, it was basically erased off history books.
I have not heard this one. That one's...
Oh, yeah, it's really weird. It's supposedly spread all the way from the top of Russia down through modern-day China. And they supposedly had really advanced technology, and they actually were all the way up in the North Pole.
Like, is this before the Mongols run?
Yeah, supposedly that's where the Mongols come from.
Okay.
They descend from those people.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I'll have to look into that. That'd actually be a good episode for the future, like one day, is to dig into something like that.
Yeah, I went down a really deep rabbit hole for that one day.
Well, fill us in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this sounds like a great...
There was a story that...
this right here goes back to what James is saying right here. Like, I had this comment up the whole time you were talking, but like...
Yeah.
Found
That's
in
what made me
a
think
boat
of
found in
it.
permafrost in Russia. They estimated to be about 10,000 year old. Like that would be them. It sounds like. And
People
he
have
said that
actually-
prior to you mentioning your the Tartars.
People are trying to say that they basically were a branch of the Atlanteans, or what was the Atlanteans, that survived and created their own kingdom.
What? So, wait. So this goes to the Atlantis legend then.
Yeah.
Well, this is even better than what I had thought. So,
Hey, I love it.
yeah, keep going.
I love the dad jokes. That's my speed, man. The Tartars Empire's legacy is a great sauce.
Oh my
Tartar
gosh.
sauce.
Are you serious?
James agrees. So do I.
Man.
So go ahead. Sorry. I had to take a joke break.
Okay, so let me dig a little bit here. So it started from North Central Asia
Mm-hmm.
and influenced vast cities across the world. Sometimes it's called Tartaria or Tartary. And some people believe it still existed up until about 100 years ago when it finally fell when Russia took it over.
Huh.
People call it the Great Reset whenever it was basically wiped from history.
Well, that
And
sounds familiar.
all of its histories are either combined or separated into Chinese history or Russian history, or some of it was just wiped out altogether. But when the communists took over, they did an extreme amount of bombing in the northern part of Russia, supposedly just to test it. People believe they were actually trying to obliterate the evidence of the Tartarian Empire.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things
Wow.
that Napoleon did when he first developed the cannon, or when his armies were testing the cannons, rather not.
Oh yeah.
But he blew apart the remains of the walls down in Tyree.
Wow.
One of
You
the
can
great.
actually go on Google Earth and look at the northern part of Europe, and you can actually see the remains
amazing.
of the outlines of cities and ports and stuff up there that they just blew to pieces.
Wow.
Yeah, that is just absolutely amazing.
And
Yeah,
we've
It's my
seen
new
this
favorite
repeated through
theory.
history a few times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this happened with the what was it called? The Persian Empire.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Persian Empire went through with the Caliphate and destroyed everything that they disagreed with. And then it would make sense that the Russian regime, when they came in, you had this powerful communist army doing the same to eradicate the memory and say, no, this is who you are now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can actually find like transcripts from old history books that talk about this kingdom up there. This
Wow.
super advanced kingdom that had horse riders and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's just amazing. I mean, absolutely amazing. So we're seeing a possible link to Atlantis with this stuff.
Yeah. Here, I'll send you guys a picture. Here's a map of.
We're going to have to do a
Group
deep dive
chat.
on this for it.
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah.
Here's a map supposedly of where Tartary was.
Now, if we can get that map up in between now and then, London Blue had asked, may I ask a question a little off topic? Do you guys know what year the oldest human remains were found in West Virginia and on the East Coast? Not
The oldest in West Virginia? Is that what she's
oldest in
saying?
West Virginia.
There's some of the mounds that were found that were thought to be about 1000 BC.
Right. The oldest remains.
It's debatable, but there were a European. I think the oldest European one was like from 710 AD or something.
So hear me out. I think I mentioned this on the West Virginia Day broadcast.
Go ahead.
But what if the giants, the super tall people who were in the mounds, what if they were either Vikings or descendants of Vikings?
Well, we've actually talked about that before. Here, I'm going to send this. Yeah, I just confirmed that. So yeah, the pre-Columbian site was confirmed. It's an ogum site. It was found in 1989, and radiocarbon dating shows about 710 AD. So yeah, about 800 years before Columbus. Actually, they call it petroglyph man. You can look that up.
Did you guys get that picture of the map that I sent?
I heard it come through. Yep.
It's in Wyoming County,
Yeah,
by the way.
See how
Joe.
big that was?
Yeah, that's huge.
Did you catch that?
Yeah, it was Wyoming County.
Wyoming County, yeah. Man, that's huge, dude. That is huge.
Yeah,
but you
all
know
of that
what?
yellow
All right,
also-
so I'm going to say
It goes
this.
all the way over to Germany.
So I'm going to say this because we've seen the old maps, right? And we've heard the whole thing about Atlantis and whatnot. We did actually did a really good episode on that. Go back and listen to that. It's really cool. But there were these islands that were on those maps that are not there anymore. There were land masses that were on those maps that are not there anymore. And those maps were maps drawn from maps that were seen, before, like they were passed down over time. And yet it kind of points that there were land masses at some point that are no longer there. So could they have been there? Could that be where some of these people were from? Could that be Atlantis? Was there just one culture like Atlantis? See, that's where people get hung up, because there's a lot of people who think it's just this one technological society out in the middle of the ocean. We don't know where it was, first of all.
Well,
So-
that's where people think that Tartary is actually Atlantis, because the old term is Tartaria, Atlantia, Tartaria, like
Got you.
kind of similar sounding if you think about it.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense. I just wonder if they were colonies of Atlantis is what I'm getting at.
Well, if you
You
look
know-
at that map, it stretches from all the way from the Atlantic Ocean to the Mediterranean. Their kingdom did.
Yeah.
It's
And
huge.
supposedly the Mediterranean might be where it was located at one point,
Yeah,
where
it's huge.
Atlantis was.
And yet I have to go back to some of the old legends about, the floods and about the survival of a select few, especially with the Hopi legend, where, the basically all the technology was laid at the bottom of the ocean. It was all basically flooded out, and there's your flying shield. It's down there, which says that they had a very technical society at once, and it was leveled. This sounds identical to exactly what you're saying. This sounds like, more of these hidden lands, more of these lost lands,
Yeah, if you look it up on Wikipedia, here's what it says. It says misinterpretations of Tartary as an empire distinct from the Mongol Empire or as an archaic name for Central Asia gave rise to a conspiracy theory alleging the existence of an advanced Tartarian.
Why is it got to be a conspiracy theory just to think outside the friggin' box?
Yeah, why did they? Because it's not all. It's not all of Asia. It's just the northern part of Asia.
Just northern and central and the island chain and
Well,
Ashley made it. Hey, Ashley.
I'll even send you a picture of the flag that they associated with it.
Yes, this is a good one. Have you seen the one of Antarctica, the map of the land under the ice? The centuries-old maps matches the actual land mass exactly. Yeah, that's right. And
some of those old maps are extremely fascinating.
which I would have spent a life in
Yeah.
Alexandria Library, right? Between the destruction of the Library at Alexandria and the codices of the Mayan Empire, the Aztec and Mayan empires, and probably the Olmecs. I mean, they probably just passed it down, culture after culture after culture. Either way, when they were destroyed, it's hard to tell what was gone. I mean, that's kind of probably why we're so in the dark at this point,
Yep.
and we're fighting over, oh, dear Lord, we can't tell them that they weren't the first. Why not? Tell us. We don't care.
So there's an interesting story about that particular library. So there was a law that was enacted, I think, when Ptolemy II took power. He was obsessed with collecting documents
no.
and preserving them. So any ship that docked in Alexandria, they were searched for any documents they might have, historical or maps or anything, and they would take them and make copies. Sometimes they wouldn't give the original back. Sometimes they would give them a copy back and keep the original.
Yeah, man. I mean,
That's how they got their massive library, was from that law that was enacted.
I mean, I guess I could get behind that just because, you know, I'm gonna come take all your knowledge and all your books,
Right.
and I'm gonna claim them as mine. And that is a sad story, Ashley. Ashley has a
Aw.
sad
Give me
story.
Day at McDonald's and it didn't work out. So now
Oh.
I'm here to remedy my big sad.
Freaking crap. There you go.
Now I'm Grimace.
There you go.
Hi.
It worked. I mean, that should work, right? There. It's the kind of stuff we do for our fans, guys, and
That's right.
our family. I don't say fans; they're a family. All these people are a family now. If you've been here more than 3 times, you're automatically inducted into the family, like it or not. Podcast is glitching.
Oh, they heard us talking about Tartary. That's it. We're done for.
Yep.
Grimace is always a sad sex story. So, what we, I guess, see quite often
Yes.
is, in one way or another, history is either erased and resurfaces,
Or forgotten.
or it's forgotten.
Yeah.
And resurfaces.
Mm-hmm. But it almost always resurfaces, doesn't it?
But then the resurfacing is often stifled.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So why would, like, logically looking at some of this stuff, why would you try to stifle that? What's the point in it? Why not? You know, everybody looks at science as this thing that we can constantly, we're moving, it's living, it's learning, it's growing, it's changing.
Mhm.
And that, you know, science is always doing something new and evolving. Why is it that when something challenges one of the textbook makers,
Yeah.
is it shoved down and tried to be snuffed out as just like, oh, this is a hoax, or this is bogus, or blah, blah, blah. Like,
Well-
it without giving its fair trial.
Yeah.
You know, is it because nobody wants to fund research into these things? Because, I mean, mind you, it takes money a lot of the times to go in and conduct research.
It takes money
and
to do anything.
look at this stuff. So is it because nobody wants to pay for that? Hey, we got Eric Altman hanging out with us. What's going on, Eric?
Eric, welcome.
And you know, if we're doing that and it's because the dollar amount, like I can understand, but why not just say, hey, look, we can't afford to do this right now. We're going to shelve it. When we get to it, we will.
Yeah.
But
I think it's because it's uncomfortable. And I think it's summed up with one picture. One picture from science fiction sums this up.
yeah.
One
Those
picture.
Damn dirty apes.
Yep. Yep.
That's that scene. I see it.
That's
I see
the
him
scene.
crouched
That was
down
one of
right
the
there.
Yeah.
biggest twists.
Yeah, that's the scene.
history.
Yeah. You blew it up. You blew it up. Exactly. So this is what I'm getting at. That's why. Because I think that it's one thing to be in the position to know that you can either destroy yourself or something can destroy you.
Yeah.
Something external can destroy you.
But you would think that that'd be a learning point. You would think, like, learn from the past so you don't repeat it.
Nope. Because I think if you have too much fear, you're not productive, are you? And it's kind of the same reason that, you know, our grandparents and our parents, etc., when they lived through the actual Cold War. I mean, the real Cold War.
The real cold.
Right. The one where, you know, every 5 minutes you thought, you know, you're going to be a ash heap. Like, they lived with that. Kids got up and went to school. You know, people went to work. Mom got up and got the kids off to school and made the, you know, breakfast and smiled, and And in the meantime, there was always this hammer.
House, am I going to see him come home?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
But they were productive because they believed a lie. It's important to believe that lie sometimes. And that's what people don't understand. Because if you don't, you won't be productive. And the lie could very well be, this didn't happen at one point in your past. And it probably didn't happen with apes, but I'm saying, well, it could have, I guess. But what I'm getting at is there's a lot of evidence that says our little culture, it's not the first go around. And, we could have started over multiple times for all we know. And I think that that's a very, very, very hard thing to accept. And now with the disclosure stuff, it's even more harder to understand and more harder to accept, isn't it?
Yeah.
The speculation and the potential is just too it's outrageous and it's mind numbing, honestly. And we don't want to keep people too fearful, because if they are, they won't be productive. You've got to be productive. Sorry, that was my rant.
I get the be productive thing, but with some of the history, it's like, it's benign. Ultimately, like it doesn't make a huge difference in what I do tomorrow, whether or not the Northmen made it to Florida.
Not now. You wouldn't think it would. But the problem is, it's called a compound lie.
Yeah.
That's the problem. It's a compound lie. A lie built upon lies, built upon layers and layers. And what do we call those things, Joe? Because now there's a little bit of truth mixed in.
Lie sandwiches.
Exactly. But it's not just a lie sandwich. It's a lie freaking Scooby-Doo Shaggy mega sandwich.
Something else I want to bring up too. Remember how when the Pilgrims landed at Plymouth Rock, the native who met them could speak perfect English?
What now?
And there was a native who met them who could speak perfect English.
I've heard that before.
Yep,
Is that true?
Yeah. And he said that there were others in his tribe who could also speak it. It's like, where did they learn that from? If that was supposedly the first Englishman to land in that particular part.
Yeah, yeah. Well, James, I mean, we are, but we're also living in a time when we have the opportunity to literally push that back and say, no.
Yeah.
Listen to us. And of course, we're called conspiracy theorists, but it's okay.
Right. I mean, we get warning emails saying, your conspiracy fringe idea. We're paranormal podcast. What do you think we're going to do? It's the genre.
Oh, Anita brought up something earlier that I forgot to look up. You remember those super ancient maps of Antarctica and stuff like that in Australia, long before we supposedly found them?
Yes.
And they were fairly accurate.
Yeah.
They're very accurate.
Yeah.
And they show other land masses that aren't there anymore.
I was trying to Google that, and I kept coming up with map of Antarctica debunked. It's like...
Yes, it's automatic.
Yeah, it's Google automatically sends
yes.
search into that. It will not.
Yes.
If you go, all search engines do it, because fact checking.
Yep.
Which, I mean, there's a good thing and a bad side to fact checking. Like, we get it. We understand that this is not today's map. I still want to see the one from 300 years ago because I just want to look at it.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do? This is what I'm saying. When someone hides something from you that is not true, why are they doing that? If it's not true, why do I care if you look at it?
This is 100% correct. Tsunamis and sea levels have changed everything. Massive earthquakes, volcanoes. Like, I want to see maps from before some of these new archipelagos were formed, because I want to see what the archipelagos rise affected. Like, there's reasons to look at these beyond trying to speculate on, some sometimes outlandish or sometimes historically set views. Yeah. I think that's accurate.
And I think everybody here probably does kind of believe that we are, we have shown enough evidence. And by we, I don't mean us. I mean like we, as in everyone who's actually looked into this stuff.
Well, one of the biggest people, one of the biggest names out there right now that's in this alternative history, we'll put it in air quotes there.
Yeah, put it in air quotes.
Is Graham Hancock.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Well, we're gonna get flagged for that.
Let's just look since
Wow. Yeah.
his documentary on Netflix came out, the docuseries.
Mm-hmm.
I binge watched the whole thing twice.
I watched it.
It's phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
He caught so much flack within the first month, and all these people were running over him and screaming and yelling and fussing, rah, 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 Graham Hancock evil, grr.
Oh yeah.
But then a couple months later, suddenly there's hundreds of miles of road and city structures found sprawling underneath the jungle canopy by LiDAR.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
But yet, Graham Hancock's evil. He's spouting out lies. Don't listen to him. He's anti-history. And then all of a sudden, like a couple months later, he's up here. He's saying there were massive sprawling cities. I got to do my British accent. There were massive sprawling cities out here. No, there weren't. No, there weren't. Oh, wait. Yes, there are. But you're still wrong. You're still wrong, Graham Hancock. I mean, that's what's going on right now. And it's just so hilarious to me.
This history podcast I listened to actually did like an hour and a half episode just debunking his whole series on Netflix just because they were so heated about it.
And then how much crow did they have to eat whenever all these discoveries are being actively made before them?
They haven't yet because they don't believe it.
But it's right there.
They haven't yet because they don't believe it. It's kind of like what's going on right now.
That's because they believe that particular piece of that puzzle doesn't belong to that puzzle. It belongs to this other puzzle that they like.
Right.
Pat says right here, people think that history is not supposed to change with new information. And it's really sad. It really is. Because for whatever reason, history is one of the only things that is not allowed to change with new information.
Yep.
Yeah, Ashley says one thing we need to remember is that people can lie and tell the truth. People can be bad and still be right, and a broken clock is still right twice a day. That's true. Yeah. But when we have people that are like for example, Graham Hancock, which I don't sit and eat everything he spews out like gospel or anything, but a lot of the stuff he says makes a whole lot of sense. And then there's historical stuff that gets discovered prompted off of people trying to actively debunk him a lot of times and other people like him, and then it proves their theory in a way. And but you know, it's one of those kind of to each their own sort of people I don't ascribe to any one person all the time. Anybody who does, that's called a cult.
Yeah.
Like,
isn't that the truth?
Like if I'm actively agreeing with everything one person is saying all the time, I might as well just like bow at their shrine,
right,
and form a new cult. But but one of the things with specifically with Graham Hancock and that Mesoamerican stuff, and talking exclusively about sprawling cities, and how the history talked about sprawling cities, and how some of the evidence points that there were sprawling advanced technological cities. Then all of a sudden, LiDAR finds a couple months later, there's hundreds and hundreds, like literally 450 miles of road.
Yeah.
Paved stone cobbled roads with
there's thousands of
cities. And no, this was brand new stuff. There's thousands and thousands of miles of road, but this was brand new. And they were some of the most advanced and beautifully laid out city roads that they had found to date, because they were very intricate. You know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, they're there. I mean,
Yeah.
that much we can't really deny, I guess.
And a lot of the structures are better structures than what we have previously found and preserved. That's what the articles are saying, is that some of these structures are better preserved and in better shape, and they're better made.
So shall it be. I mean, come on, man. She paid $20. I can do this all
that's
night.
Right.
I
The
can do
cult
that all
of
night.
Sky Daddy McConaughey is alive and well in this chat. That's right.
Exactly.
All hail the Sky Daddy.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Adam.
Oh,
High Priest Adam Good.
Here's something interesting I just found out. There's an old country that was swallowed up by the communists in Russia. It's still part of Russia to this day, and it's called Tartarstan.
Huh.
It makes sense. You just slap a stand on the end of it after Russia takes over.
Yeah.
Nah, that's funny.
And listen, the official languages of that republic, Tartar and Russian.
What?
Yep.
Really?
Their language is Tartar. Okay.
Oh, boy.
They never existed.
Wow. Ash made a really good. Yeah, thank you. She made a very.
And said exactly. I tell people not even to listen to me all the time. I don't know everything. None of us do. Research means pulling from multiple sources. Absolutely does.
Absolutely, and changing your ideas to follow that data. That's exactly what it means. Good going on you.
You have to be fluid. Anybody who gets concrete in any form of research, period.
Yep.
You're stuck. You're not going to advance any further than where they're at. Period.
Exactly.
One thing I want to state too.
Go ahead.
You need to cite your sources.
I think
where you get your information.
Yeah, that helps too. I mean,
credit where credit is due.
I really don't like it when we see these meme info blocks, and it's like, well, I mean, all you got to do is a Google search, and you figure out that's not true.
That's what bugs me about TikTok. These people claim to have all this information, and they never ever say where they get it from.
No, they never do.
It's terrible. It's terrible, and there's so many people who believe that stuff just right out. It's scary. It's terrifying, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think Ashley deserves a visit from Scott Daddy for that. So, okay. Yeah.
Did my light in the room get brighter?
I think it did.
I think Sky Daddy has befallen.
I think it did.
He's getting more intense.
As long as it doesn't fall on you, we're okay.
All right. It's almost healed up. Still a little tender, but
yeah. For those who don't know, Joe was attacked by the ghost that lives in his basement, apparently, and got a gash to the face right before we had to go to Withville. So, fun times.
Good time. I really could have used some.
Yeah, Adam actually gets. She deserves it every now and again. When you say the right thing, magic word. And do the research. Yeah, that's it. Everybody. Yeah, you're quite welcome. You're quite welcome. So when I make the shirt, you guys are buying one, right? That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm totally buying one and wearing it.
Okay.
Oh man.
I kind of
as long as
figured
we don't have to license his image.
We don't. It's okay. It's a certain way it's going to be made. So.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
I love that Sky Daddy deal. I needed that.
Well, you need to thank Adam Good for that.
Yep.
Our sponsor, our co-sponsor, because there's apparently two. Well, yeah, I don't know. All you guys are sponsoring at this point. I think
at this point, yeah, everybody who's here.
Everybody.
Joe needs some sage to get the ghosts out every time. Well, hey, we're going to a powwow. I'll stock up there. It'll be the good stuff.
It will be the good stuff, actually. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think that this whole history thing is just fascinating to me, and I'll go back to what Ashley had said because it's important. There are those who just it's got to be this way. It can't. You can't change this. It's got to be this way. And you said it too. It's like you've got to make sure that you follow that data, right? Instead of just leading that data. And we see that so much with archaeology in particular.
Yeah.
We've seen that for ages in archaeology. And I'm not talking about just, in hominid type archaeology.
Started with dinosaurs.
It started with dinosaurs. Exactly. All the
That was
arguing.
the first big,
Yep.
like real big war.
All the arguing over dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And then when I was growing up, there was a theory that an asteroid killed off the dinosaurs, but it wasn't proven until like sometime in the 80s, if I remember correctly. Like they didn't really jump on it. And now they're saying, oh, that may not have happened. So it's like, come on, guys. How much do you need? Do you need a time machine to go back and look? Because I hear there's one of those available now too. Just go over and grab it and see if the Navy will let you borrow it.
They have at least schematics on
That's what I'm hearing.
Copyright.
Well, it's what I'm hearing. What about we were talking about the whole thing where on the last episode where we were talking about the artifact that we even stumbled across. The little the mask, and in that in its own right, to me that in its own right, that right there, is a good example of what we're talking about. That's supposed to look like a panther, according to archaeologists.
Panthers don't have downward facing nostrils.
Well, they don't. And if you superimpose that image over a panther, believe me, I've done it. Its eyes will line up, but you're going to find out that the nose isn't right. You're going to find out that the cheekbones are absolutely not right, and the whole shape of the face is wrong. And this is from a people who are very, very much artisans, and
you can. One of the things that we referenced a lot when we were talking about this was that you could identify bird species by feather count on their sculptures.
I mean, it looks that good, It's easy to recognize. I just don't see someone going to all that trouble making that. And believe me, that is a very special piece, I think. And
that reminds me of back in the old days, whenever archaeologists would uncover art from the old days that offended them, like if it depicted nudity and stuff like that, they would literally destroy it.
Yeah,
there's art.
You mean the old days, like the 1980s?
Yeah, it was up till pretty recently.
I know.
Like art that was buried by Mount Vesuvius when that erupted, they literally destroyed a lot of that. And it's upsetting. That's why you see like a lot of fig leaves in art. That's because the Catholic Church at one point banned nudity in any kind of art. And they forced these artists to go in and cover up the nudity with fig leaves. They have to go back and edit their own paintings.
Ashley brings up another good point.
Where's the ears? Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
You don't sculpt cats and leave out the ears. You're absolutely 100% right.
The whole way we stumbled across this, for those of you who have not listened to the episode where we covered this, actually, I was buying some stuff at a rock shop, and I told Ron, I said, Ron, you got to come to the rock shop with me. There's something down there on this, on a piece of paper. It's a pamphlet. You got to see it. I said, I'd take a picture of it, but let's just go to the rock shop. And so, it was the following Saturday, we went to the rock shop, and I said, Ron, what's this look like?
What's it look like?
And Ron said, that's a Bigfoot. And I said, yeah. And then we started talking to the rock shop owner, and he's like, oh, yeah, I got one of those too over in my personal collection. And he said, but that specific one's over at the Southern Ohio Cultural Center. We were like, who is it now? So the following week, Ron and I packed our bags up, and we went out to Portsmouth, Ohio, and went to the museum, where we just happened to stumble into a archaeological talk by one of the professors who had worked on the dig sites. Well, we got to examine the mask, it's not a mask. We got to examine the gorget. And
we were under an impression we were looking for this mask. So we were out there.
A mask. So we were expecting something, to cover the face.
Nope.
It's a gorget. It's even more important than a mask, in our opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is a talisman, essentially.
And that's reproduction, by the way. So don't get all freaky.
Yeah. I didn't
and
steal.
Smith, freaking, do that national treasure thing. It's not real. It's all good.
Yeah,
That's
we
not
got
real.
enough pictures and measurements off of the original that I came home and I started sculpting a 1-to-1 replica. And the when we were doing it and conversing back and forth between one another, I just kept telling Ron, I was like, dude, there's no way this is a cat. There's no way this is a cat. There's too many features in it that make it man-like.
That just made a good point. My stupid brain. I said artesian, didn't I?
Yeah.
Idiot. Never
Art.
mind. Anyway, yeah, artisan. I don't know.
It looks like that mat or that little gorget actually has human lips on it too.
That
does.
little gorget does have human lips on it,
It's got human lips on it.
and you can actually tell
It's
those are
definitely not a
not.
How wide it
Those
goes.
are not cat lips. Those are absolutely not a cat's lips.
It's either
okay?
baring its teeth or it's smiling. One of the two.
It's
Yeah,
it's just
it's just there, man.
straight across,
I think it's just doing one of those things that they do.
like RBF, basically.
Yeah.
Because the mouth is closed. It's just showing that there's lips there. There's a mouth there. And it's got wrinkles on the nose. And you've got wrinkles on the face. And the whole reason they said it was a panther was because of these features right here on the cheeks, which are little cut lines. And they said that those looked like whiskers.
Whiskers. Those are whiskers.
But
They're not.
what was brought up by the curator of all this stuff and the public educator for the museum was that when they were examining these whisker marks, that those whisker marks appeared to be younger than the actual piece itself, and that those whisker marks had a strong possibility to have been added after the fact. Because and it's true, because I put the imperfections in where those streaks were, and those imperfections are nowhere else found on the face. They're not found on the creases on the nose. It was almost like a different tool was used to make it. But we don't know. We personally, based off all the evidence that we've been able to come up and gather, it's a quite a effigy and one of the earliest effigies of a Sasquatch on the East Coast.
I mean, it could be.
Very
Cool.
well. Could be.
I mean, it dates to Fort Ancient, according to what the official record is. But
Yes.
Could it be older? Yeah, I mean, it obviously could be older because
Where it was found in the Central Burial Chamber.
Well, it was found. Was
In
it
11
Kentucky?
pouch.
It was in Kentucky, right? That's where it was found. Yeah, it was in something field. I can't remember the name of the field. Yeah, it's in Kentucky though. And here you go. There you go.
Yep.
So there's a panther. And whoops. Yeah. So you can definitely see the mouth on a panther, just like any other cat, has that upturned V.
Yep.
Now, there's no reason to think that they wouldn't have put that upturned V on there if that was a panther. If that was
And
meant
the
to be a
lips are
panther.
nowhere near the nose.
Oh, no. Well, the lips are absolutely nowhere near the nose. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's a very good possibility that it is, in fact, what it is. It could very well be one of the earliest depictions of a Bigfoot, Sasquatch.
Could be.
We don't know. It's just conjecture and theory.
But what we do know is it was found in a medicine bag.
Well, it's found in a medicine bundle. A bundle.
Yeah.
A bundle, not a bag, a bundle.
Medicine bundle.
Yeah.
And it was with a few beads that were adorned with it. The string had decayed and was gone, but there were beads that would have been with it. And, yeah. Pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's a very cool little piece. But it's another one of those things, like I said, it's just kind of out of place. And without the actual provenance, we don't know anymore. And I think that's the problem with a lot of this stuff. A lot of people are just, the scholars, they have to stay within a certain area because there are things called grants, there are things called funds, and they want to
Right.
continue to get those things. So
Goes
they
back to the money we were talking about earlier.
exactly. So they can't say certain things. They can't, they may want to. They may want to say that, there's evidence here that says this or that, and maybe it's older than we thought, or, this crystal skull is actually, older than we thought it was and predates lapidary work. Okay, they might want to say that, but they can't say that because funding matters.
Yeah.
And if
That's
you don't have funding,
accurate.
yeah, you don't have your school. You don't have your, that's it.
You
You're
don't have
done.
your job.
Have your job. You have nothing. So yeah, unfortunately, that's kind of where we are with a lot of these things, I think. So anybody got any questions out there? I'm seeing a lot of people saying they like the cat. That's cool.
Yeah, they're like, oh,
I don't know where Gwen's at. She'd be in here posing for you, but
yeah, pass that ghost cat. Yeah, that's what's in my basement.
ghost cat. That's what you said, right? That you had a ghost cat over
We
there.
got a ghost cat. We'll hear it occasionally. Rowan's seen it a few times and talks to the ghost cat.
Yeah, look at that. See, anytime you go on a limb, you lose sponsors and funding.
Yeah.
But us, we seem to have gained those things. The further out on the limb we go, I'm grateful for it. But yeah, I think it just comes down to the fact that when we are talking about things like institutions and so forth, yeah, absolutely, you lose your funding and then you're in trouble. And we look at the guys who did go out on a limb. Avi Loeb is one of them.
Yeah.
Dr. Mike back in the day, the late Dr. Mike, when all the abduction research that he did, that was mostly funded by Robert Bigelow, at the time. But it didn't matter because he was going to lose his job unless his friends stepped up for him. And that's exactly how he kept his job. And that's how he became the figure that he was. What? What would you prefer?
I would prefer the Ovnik.
A ghost cat or an ovnik?
I would prefer an Ovnik.
Yeah, you'd probably be all right with the ovnik.
Yeah.
Ghost cat, that's kind of iffy, man. Can you imagine if a ghost cat, I mean, you know what cats do, Pat?
Yeah.
I mean,
Cats knock lights off shelves and make them swing.
Yeah, they do all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, ovnik don't do that. It just is.
Ashley says, I think there's a shift in the community. I think people are excited for something new. So going out on a limb is a slow crawl, but worthy one. Yeah.
It is. It is. And, you just get to the point to where you got to accept it, don't you? I mean, as crazy as some of the stuff sounds, you have to really just look at it and be like, well, it kind of makes sense, and go with that, the whole everything on the table model. Ovnik burns down barns. Yeah, that's true. They do. They really do. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very true.
That's true. So you don't want to do that.
The worst the Ovnik did to us was hide Brian's candy for the duration of the investigation, then returned it to the same spot we checked 100 times right before we left.
That's pretty funny.
Luckily, the Ovnik hasn't done anything bad when we were there, or rotten. I wouldn't say bad, anything ornery. It's always been really cool, and I got to see a full-on, straight-ahead view of it once, and that was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But it seems to be cool with us when we're there.
It's interesting. Let's just say that. I don't know what it is. We've had multiple discussions. I'll call it a what did I call that thing? Well, basically it's a life form. It's sentient.
Yeah.
And it is I can't remember the exact word, but basically it's there, yet it's not there. But it is definitely a sentient being of some sort.
Anita says, I just found a pre-Columbian American sculpture of a puppy person. Oh, boys.
Of course.
Send that over to us, Anita, because we're actually working on a Dogman Deep Dive episode.
Don't send it to me.
You can send it to me. I'm fine. And we'll take a look at it with Odin. You need to bring the ghost kitties to the live for show and tell.
Oh, that's funny.
Don't say that. I have a whole lot of expensive toys behind me.
That's funny, man.
To get knocked off the shelf.
That is some funny stuff. You got to admit.
We bring in pancakes. There you go.
Maybe you should make pancakes for your cat thing. Maybe it'll stop whacking you in the face and breaking your brow.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it seems like a good idea.
Put out some savory pancakes.
Yeah, man. Why not give it a shot?
Yeah.
Because one just never knows.
What's really funny is that, okay, so this, I've told Kelly, but I don't think I've told Ron or Brandon this. So this is the first time you've heard this.
Uh-oh, confessions, everyone.
Yeah, so I don't, for obvious reasons, anybody that knows me, I don't put out poisons at my house for anything because we have reptiles. We have a ton of reptiles. We have a whole reptile room here at the house. And so I don't put out poisons for those reasons. It's too big of a risk to damage any kind of cross contamination that would destroy the colony. Well, that said, there have been 2 dead mice left in the middle of the floor of the reptile room.
Ghost cat offering.
Definitely something a cat would do.
It's something a cat would do, yeah. And I told Kelly about it, but I've cruised in and they're laying right in the middle of the freaking room, and they've just been dead. That's and they look they're intact. There's not ripped apart or nothing. They're just like when a cat leaves it on your doorstep.
That's a ghost cat offering, man. I don't know what to tell you about that. Anybody got a clue out there? I'm gonna
give you 2 names you can use for your cats.
One 2 days ago.
Gosh.
Yep.
Well, if you find that dead mouse in your shoe, then you know. 100%.
Then you know. But I don't leave shoes in the basement.
Well, you should. This should be a test. I mean, you got to test the phenomena. Leave your shoe down there and see if that mouse ends up inside that shoe. If it does, you've got more proof than you can check it.
Why don't you just be nice and leave it a cardboard box to sleep in?
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. There's actually several of those down there, so I wouldn't have to. The basement, that side of the basement's also my storage area. So there's even a dog crate down there. That's just, it's got a big pillow in it.
Pat asked a good question. Could the gargoyles have killed them?
The gargs could have.
Oh, and just for people who find that.
No. We'll leave that ambiguous.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Gargoyles very well could have killed them.
Yeah, it was gargoyles in the basement could have killed them.
I don't have a loose gargoyle.
Mm-hmm. Or troll.
Yeah, or a troll. I mean, I might have a loose troll.
Maybe fairies.
I definitely have 2 loose goblins.
2 goblins.
But the gargoyles, they stay in their terrariums. They can't get out. So I've got. I don't use the Zoo Med terrariums. I have a bunch of terrarium sets made by a late friend of ours. So the gargs definitely couldn't have got out. And the mice can't get in.
I don't know, Theresa. I think the spectral hairball would be an orb. So if he sees an orb, it's kind of appear out of nowhere, it's probably a spectral hairball.
Oh man. Yeah, it's weird.
It's definitely weird. It's definitely really weird. How about you guys? You guys ever had any of them weird ghost animal kind of incidents out there? I'm just curious now because I've seen weird things. I won't call it a cat or dog, but there was something. There was there's people who believe that's what they are. I'm not convinced that's what they are, but that's what some people believe they are, and I've seen them, and it was definitely a ghost cat. Because that's what other people had said that they had seen.
So should we let the fans name the cats?
Well, I don't know if it's plural. I don't know if it's more than one, but occasionally we'll hear it even
But it can be.
Well, yeah, it could be. We'll hear it upstairs, and we'll hear something get knocked over down in the basement, and I'll go look, and there's nothing that I can see that's knocked over.
Right.
And But we'll hear cat noises down in the basement, and yeah, like meows and stuff like that.
Wow.
So I
Ashley says
propose
she saw a
either
ghost deer in the TNT area.
Ghost deer?
naming it Garfield or Heathcliff.
Garfield or who?
Heathcliff.
Heathcliff. Puppy dude hairballs or tribbles.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, you know what's funny? I was just looking through our chat history, and I sent you guys a video about Tartar months ago, and it's been taken off YouTube now.
Of course.
Well, yeah.
So Shayna said, I saw a Black Panther when I was a kid. I never knew what it was until I told the story as an adult, and I looked like I was insane. Yeah, that happens to a lot of people. And the thing is, there's tons of black cat reports, like big black cat. They call them ABCs, alien black cats, and that doesn't mean like extraterrestrial, but black cats that are here that don't belong.
But they could be. You can't say they're not now.
They could be. They could be like the biker mice from Mars and have little antennae.
We cannot confirm nor deny. Let's go back to that because that's
call the ghost cat spooky.
Spooky. It was walking on water. What? Well, actually, I don't know what to say about that.
Well, walking on water.
But I can swear to you, if I ever see a deer walking on water, I'm probably going to run the other way. Because I don't think it's probably a deer at that point. I'm thinking that's.
So you're saying that's a not deer?
No, I'm saying that's probably a puppy dude messing with me. That's what I'm thinking. That is a precognitive, intelligent phenomena, is what that is.
Well, do you want to run your test on the audience?
I don't know. Do the audience want to be run the test upon? That should say that.
Yeah, we'll have to hear.
Yeah, I'd love to chat with you on that. That'd be cool to go over. We need to go down there one day and see what's up. Because we've never taken any equipment into that area except for a Geiger counter.
Recorders.
Geiger counter and recorders. That's all we've ever taken. We never really took the full.
We got to go up there with the full gear.
Yeah.
Well, when we go do our headshots.
Yeah, we'll do that there. What is it? Over the past couple of days?
Yeah, over the past couple of days, our cat and dog have been behaving strangely and randomly standing like statues, staring at closets on each end of the house.
That's not scary.
Portals. That's portals. Yep. Probably portals.
Anita says, I found an Owlman sculpture that kind of looks like a Flatwoods monster in Washington State.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's cool.
I can see that. I could definitely see that. Like that one Jamie did.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
That was beautiful. That thing looked a lot like an owl.
Isn't that one of the things they tried to debunk that story with, was that they saw an owl?
Yes, it was. It was an owl in the tree.
Yep. Owl in a tree, and then there was this fake, I don't know what that thing was. They tried to make some dummy or something. It's like, no one's got time to do all that.
It was a
crap.
dummy swinging out of a tree.
Yeah, no one's got time.
Red lights
for all
on his
that.
face.
No one. Literally no one has time for that. All right, let's see if I can get connected here.
If you're going to go to that length to prank a bunch of teenagers, you must be a psycho.
Agreed. Oh, that's not right. Hang on a second.
Ashley says, I haven't been there for a while either. It's about time. Oh yeah. We actually haven't been to the ponds. I used to go to the ponds all the time.
I used to go to them all the time.
Creeks, but
Mm-hmm.
we haven't been up there since the Wild and Weird 2 announcement.
Cannot open clipboard. Why? What's going on? Hang on. I'll get this thing to work. It's not scanning.
Pat, we'll drag you along with us. You can come.
Why not?
There's enough room in the truck. We can all hop in and go.
Why not? Why not?
Last time I went, we couldn't be there very long because it was about the thunderstorms.
Let's
we had to
make it a
basically run all the way up and then run back.
Okay. I got her running now. Let me see. Let me go to mode. Let me go to high mode. That should do it. Let's see. Real time. Okay, real time's on. Okay, let me get an average. Oh, good Lord, there's a lot of... Okay. So this peak is around 254, I think. Okay, yeah, that looks good. 6:30 is coming up.
Field trip. Yay. So what we're getting ready to do, guys, is we're going to run an experiment once we can get everything hooked up.
Yeah,
and we're going to see how it goes.
To get this thing opened
We've got to get
up.
everything behaving. Ron did a test run earlier, and it worked.
Okay, we're going to share this first. So let's see if I can get this to work, because that's kind of important. All right. Present. Share screen. We just like to have fun around here sometimes.
Oh, yeah, especially coming up to wrap out.
Okay.
There we go.
Is it working? All right, let's
Yeah.
pop it up here for everybody.
Switch.
All right, they can see it. Okay, let's pop this up a little bit bigger. There we go. I think that'll do it. Okay, that should have it, I think. Yeah. I think I got it. Oh yeah, we got it for sure. All right. So, all right, we're looking at the spectrometer there. I got it fired up. Now let me get the Ovilus fired up over here. We're gonna fire it up.
Legion.
Probably.
Calling it now.
It's probably what's going to happen. As soon as we start this, I'd say that's what's going to happen. Well, anyway.
It says, woohoo, I've always wanted to be experimented on.
All right.
Now's your opportunity.
Oh, well, Ashley, you definitely got to, hang out more, because we can use human subjects. Let's see. Okay, ready? Here we go.
Ovilus on.
Oh, there's the volume up. Let's try that again. Let me get the volume right.
Ovilus off.
No, okay.
You really should be getting signed informed consent forms.
Ovilus on.
I'm not getting the...
Remove.
Remove?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's exactly what it said. I have to figure out, is that it? I think this is it right here. One of these is you guys and one of them's it. Start talking for me.
Hey.
Do it again.
We're testing the equipment out, getting ready to see how all this is going to go. Got the spectrum analyzer on one side and our Ovilus running.
Okay, we got it. All right, all this is running. So we're going to try to see if we can validate a connection. So I want everybody in the audience out there. You're going to focus on that spectrum analyzer. Can you see that right in front of you, right? Okay, so I want everybody in the audience to basically, we're going to try to manifest is what we're going to try to do, right? So here we go. And I'm going to be monitoring everything we've got. I'm throwing everything at this, so...
I heard you firing up the other toys.
Yeah, we got Tri-Field fired up. We're going to do some
impersonation of a Tri-Field ever.
Okay, so throw the Tri-Field up there where you guys can see the number.
Break the internet, people.
We're going to break. I told you we're breaking reality. You guys just don't even know. All right, can you see the number on it? I don't know if you can.
Yep.
Can you see it? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
A little bit.
And what we need to do is we need to focus, get everybody to focus their energy on a specific frequency. So we're going to be shooting for, let's see, we're setting at 254 megahertz right now. So let's do something really wild. Let's all focus on raising the vibration up to, say, about...
Ancient.
God.
That's a little loud.
Loud.
Let me turn it down a little bit. Sorry about that, guys.
Say
Ov-
agent.
Agent. That's correct. 800 megahertz. 800 to 900 megahertz is what we're going to shoot for.
There
So
you
that,
like it, ain't you?
That's way up there.
yep. So that way we know it's, it's anomalous. So it's going to be up here. And there, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. We just had a 700.
Strange.
It was strange.
It was
I agree with you, Ovilus. And at the same time, we're going to be asking the Ovilus a question. So somebody ask a question.
Yeah, there we go. There's your question.
No. Nope. Yeah, I feel bad.
Rest in peace, headphones.
I feel bad for you guys who have headphones on. I
Yeah.
really do. That was terrible. I don't know what happened.
really.
There.
Adam Good says dogma.
Nope. Got it. 800. Right there it is. It was just there again. Did you see
Yeah,
it?
there was a spike there to 8.
Yeah. Okay, so the baseline is 257. 257 megahertz is where we're at the baseline. So we're scanning, and let's hit that 800. Who's going to do it? Wait, nope, that's not it. There's a.
Adam is over here spamming.
I swear
Dude,
to
he's
God,
trying, man.
Adam, it's coming on with you, brother. Oh, there's 8. I just saw it. Somebody got 8. There's 800 again. Yeah, everybody, focus on that 800. Raise that frequency up. There you go. We need our question for the Ovilus, though, at the same time. It says remove Agent Strange.
Remove Agent Strange.
That's what it says. Remove Agent Strange.
That's gonna be my new username for all the
Legion.
websites.
There it was.
Oh, there it
Oh,
is.
There it was. There it was. So,
What's your name? Agent Strange?
so why am I running this and why am I running the spectrometer? What I wanted to show you guys was this is a baseline, 0.3. You see it right there, right? It's like 0.2, 0.3. That's about where it's been. It's not really changing much, right? Can you see it?
No, there's a lot of glare.
I figured that. Hang on a second. I'll fix that. Let's go over here and do this.
What's it waiting for?
Okay.
Agent Strange is what they called Ashley in high school.
Are you serious? Are you really serious right now? Because that's funny. You hit the 800 megahertz frequency range. That's awesome. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. But anyway, look, what I'm showing you is this. When this thing went up, or when the spectrum analyzer reached that 800 peak, nothing changed over here.
Yeah.
So it's not a stray RF signal that's actually detectable like locally is what I'm saying. So this isn't just a computer generating that is what I'm trying to get at. That's interesting to me. Let's go to RF range.
What did we see crawl out of the sewer? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Good job. And focusing on that 800 range.
Ashley says, no, I'm not serious. Just being jovial.
Ash, that's how people end up, getting, mild electric shocks, for example. Just saying. Be careful.
Pat says, will I win the lottery?
Oh, man, that's a good one. Okay, I am picking up some strange...
Are ghosts dead people?
No, probably
Oh.
not. Probably not. Let's go with that one.
How about will Dogman
Remove.
manifest right behind Ron?
It said remove again. That's 2. That's 2 more.
It or
No.
something, whatever it is.
No, that's odd because we typically don't get a constant repeat, like that.
It's probably because I said Dogman.
Members.
Remove the members. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. I'm going to remove every one of you now. No. Okay, I'm getting... there's the 800 again. I see it. Right there. There it is. Oh, it was there for a second. Now it's gone.
Do dogmen love to haunt Ron?
I don't let them. Don't open that door and nothing can come through, you know?
Are ghosts temporal echoes?
Oh, that's a good one. I'm reading the 257.4 megahertz constant.
Are there aliens among us?
Oh, man, don't go there. Oh, holy crap. That was a big spike. Did you see that? Look, it's there. There it was again for a second.
It is, yeah. I saw it.
No, it spiked around 800 there for a second. Well, as soon as you said that, it spiked around 800. I'm pretty sure.
Bacon.
Bacon. Okay. I'm not sure how that relates, but okay.
Are there aliens listening to us?
Ooh, now that's a good one. All right, so we want to see about from right. Can you see my line going across there?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we want to see from right here. Yeah, like that one over there. We want to see from right here all the way to the right. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a spike in that range. There it was. Looks like it's coming in around 870 megahertz is where we're seeing it. It's almost always 870 megahertz. Good Lord, that 600 was high.
Knit.
What'd it say?
Knit.
Knit.
K-N-I-T. Yeah. That was interesting there, Brandon. As soon as you asked that
Yeah, it spiked up.
It spiked right at 880 megahertz.
We'll take that
Does
as a
Ron
yes.
dream of dogmen?
Oh, man, what's wrong with you people? I swear. It's like... All right, everybody focus on the 800 again. I want to see this. Let's
I
go.
like what Ashley said. Are aliens mimicking us?
Oh, I didn't see that.
Adam.
Oh, well,
Adam?
Well, it
Say
said
what?
that. It said Adam.
What?
It said Adam. It said Adam. And
Adam is
there's
the sponsor.
and there's our 880. There was our 880 megahertz
Booster.
Wait,
spike.
is this saying that Adam is an alien mimic?
All right, so I'm going to go to 880. Right here's where we need to be watching. Where my lines
Is
at.
Ron a dogman wearing a human suit?
Man, you guys, I swear. You're wonderful people.
Adam is an alien and he's mimicking us.
I think that's what we just figured out. Yeah,
Yep.
man.
Yep.
I think that's it.
Yep, always knew it. Adam was an alien.
All right, so everybody know how you're doing the 800 thing, right? So
Adam says it has been spiking when I've been trying.
that's what I'm saying. So
Panel.
the whole panel, right? So what we're
Over 800.
So what we're going to do now, all right, I'm going to count to 3. When I count to 3, I want everybody to focus on that 800. And I want you to push that energy right up as far as you can, right? Just imagine that just going straight up. As soon as I get to 1, 2, 3, boom, like that, right? And we're going to see if we see a mark over here. And anything picks it up, including the Ovilus. Here we go. 1. Somebody start early.
Power
2.
up.
3. Nope. Oh, that was a 700 and that was a 790. So it was close to 800, guys.
It
You
spiked
came-
when I got Chick-fil-A delivered.
Right.
Power.
Oh, that's weird. The trifield's going nuts. You can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going nuts. Oh, there it was. 910. Aha. Wow. That's very interesting. So what do we take away from this little oh my God. Did you see that?
I saw a good bump there for a moment.
That was in the 920 range.
With.
That's the highest one we've got.
Shoes.
With shoes. Okay. With shoes, guys. With shoes.
Well, we are just a virus with shoes.
Prayer.
That's obvious.
Says to
Ooh.
pray. Everybody
Pray.
pray. Pray, everyone. I guess that's what it's asking.
Okay.
Have aliens always been here?
Man, you keep asking that alien stuff. You're responsible for what happens tonight. That's all I'm going to say. It's on you. Let me drop the points down a little bit. Uh-oh. I hit the wrong
Is
button.
Adam an alien mimic?
Answer, yes.
Do aliens believe in the power of prayer?
That was a good question. Who
Oh,
asked that?
according to Valiant Thor, yeah.
Yeah. There we go. It's a little more detailed now. Now we can
Yourself.
see. Yourself. I think that was your answer.
Sounds like it.
Sounds like it, right?
I guess I'm the mimic.
I think that's what it's saying, guys. Well, that's impressive. I got to say, I did not expect this. I figured we'd just see a baseline, and every now and again it would just kind of jump.
Divine prayer, Ovilus.
But now we're seeing, yeah, that's
Ovilus was
Object.
Object.
Ovilus, does Joe have ghost cats that are killing his mice?
Wheat.
Wheat. Not weed. Wheat. Wheat.
Hey, man.
Just saying. I know what you're thinking.
Fear.
Fear leads to
Legion. So what's killing the mice?
yeah. That is interesting. You got that mouse situation where they're dying and stuff. That's weird, dude.
It really is, and they've
weird.
both been in the same exact location, like same exact location,
Well,
within a few inches of each other.
check it out.
No.
So ever since we stopped doing the test, no 900s.
Right. Dave's not here. What you don't know is that anytime Dave is in the room with the Ovilus, it gets super cranky,
Yeah, it does. It don't like
and it's
Dave.
all doom and gloom.
It does not like Dave. It
Well.
does not. So we got we had spikes in the 900 range. You saw that when we were trying to do it. Now no one's trying to do it, and we see it's barely climbing above, what is it, 6. So yeah, I don't know. The data is what the data is. That's just kind of weird, and it's been running this long, and I haven't seen any more 9s.
Yeah.
So you gotta wonder about that kind of stuff, don't you? I mean, when you see it like that, I don't know what to think, but I'm going to log it down as some data points. I'm not going to say that we did anything, but I want to thank everybody who participated, because that was really cool. And where else are you going to get to
I'm still trying
participate?
to manifest Chick-fil-A.
Where else are you going to get to participate in a manifestation project? I can tell you where. You're going to get to do that here every now and again, because that showed enough promise for me to pull that out and do it again.
Yeah.
What do we got out there?
People saying it was interesting. Pat saying he's trying to manifest Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A.
London
Yeah.
said maybe my dog and cat are killing them by staring through the portals. Very possible.
Very possible. Very possible.
But I think this has been a good one, man. This was
Oh
fun.
yeah, it was fun. This was a great. Would you guys enjoy yourself on this run? Very interesting. Yeah, I would call it very interesting. I don't know what it means, like I said, and I'm not going to tell anyone that it means anything. I just thought that it was kind of cool that we had a spike when we shouldn't have had a spike, and then when nothing, no one's doing anything, there's no spike. It's very interesting to me. So we'll definitely be testing that again. But it does fall into line with some of the early theories, psi research that was taking place at remote locations, trying to influence equipment remotely. So it's very possible that we could possibly validate some of that stuff in time. So yeah, and then I'll narrow down to which one of you it is, and that's my guinea pig.
Or it's the collective all.
All right, it could be. Exactly.
Hive mind.
Mm-hmm. It very well could be. That's why it's important to, I think, when I said...
we need to ask it to raise the ambient radiation.
No, we do not. Absolutely not.
All the
we're
equipment at Ron's house.
Nope.
I say yes.
No, we're not doing that. No ambient radiation raising. No. And that's pretty scary stuff that actually seemed to work.
Yeah, that was really fun. That was cool. Everybody, thanks for participating in that. Thanks for an awesome show, everybody, for hanging out with us.
I think the Ovilus,
it's been a great time. Ron,
yeah.
what kind of announcements do we have?
We have to turn the Ovilus off, so we have to do that. See if I can do this right this time.
Ovilus on.
What kind of announcements do we have left?
The announcement is we managed to not fully break reality unless we get up in the morning and there are dinosaurs. Now, if there are dinosaurs outside, it worked. Okay. I just want everyone to know. Don't be afraid. It worked.
Well, LHC is still running right now. So
Yeah. Well, maybe we tapped into it and fixed things. As far as announcement goes, what is the next big announcement? We updates to web page. We did that. So you can go check.
Week you're coming up. You're going to be there at the. It's next week, right?
No.
Your talk for the.
that's in July.
St. Albans thing. It's next month.
No, it's in July. Next week is cool. We're going to be going out to. Supposedly we're going either in Nitro or somewhere and actually do an on-site investigation with equipment.
Oh,
so that'll be a lot of fun.
The War Museum.
Are they going to do it still? I don't know. Teresa, have you heard if it's go or no? Because that's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys are around, come down to the St. Albans Historical Society there, because actually don't come down to St. Albans Historical Society. Come wherever we're going to be doing it, and the paranormal group's going to be going out, and we're going to be using some equipment and whatnot, and apparently looking at some haunted locations close by.
Then, following shortly after that, there is it'll be almost a whole month after that. You've got Kecksburg.
Be in Kecksburg, yeah.
But the 15th, remember, July 15th is the date for the Bigfoot workshop.
Yes.
Anybody who has not been to the Bigfoot workshop, highly recommend you guys come. Everybody who's been has had a blast. We're halfway to our sold out mark right now. So that is.
And what's cool about this one, guys, is even if it rains, it happens because it's under a covered shelter. So we're going to be nice and dry. We're going to have food. We're going to have all of our lessons, our equipment there for you guys to play around with. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep. We've got a nice shelter in a perfect spot. Anybody who, once you purchase your pass, you'll be notified where it's going to be and what shelter we're going to be under. Theresa says, as far as we know, it is still a go. So they'll be out in Nitro, West Virginia.
Okay.
But the workshop's going to be at Canola State Forest. It's going to start at noon. So you're going to want to eat before you come. And then we're going to feed you dinner. You'll get your shelter notification once you purchase your pass, and we'll send you out some other little stuff.
We'll send those out probably here shortly. I tried to do it automated. It didn't work, and I came up with a really good idea, and I tested it on Adam today, and it worked very well. So what you're going to do is just screenshot your invoice, bring that with you, show it, and we know you paid. And that's it, because it is limited. We can't.
Yeah, you can't just show up.
Yeah, not on this one, guys. Sorry, this is a limited kind of.
So the only people who are going to get the shelter number that we're going to be at are going to be the folks who get their stuff.
Yep.
But we also have your email from where you're doing it through the website. We're going to have your email contact. I'm going to send out emails to everybody about where everything's going to be, stuff you might want to bring, etc.
Yep.
Adam Good with another $1.99, brother.
Adam Good with another $1.99. Sky Daddy in it away, my friend. Here we go.
Bound to be Theresa.
Here we go now. It just amazes me that people love this show. It's just, I don't get it. But,
Then after the workshop, you got Kecksburg, and then following that, we're going to be in Hawking Hills.
Yes.
Hawking Hills just announced a very cool VIP dinner on the 3rd. If you're going to be coming
to Hawking Hills, that's right.
And you're going to be in town, you can catch the VIP dinner on the 3rd.
Yep.
It'll be a good time. And then shortly after that, we've got Cryptid Bash.
Yep. Got Cryptid Bash coming up.
Cryptid Bash and Woodburger Jamboree back to back.
It's going to be busy.
Yep.
It's going to be busy, but it'll be a lot of fun. And, I think it's going to be a lot of fun out there anyway. You guys, obviously, if you can make it to some of these, make it out. They're a blast.
We appreciate just seeing everybody hanging out with you.
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, we like to
a lot of them are
aggravate
free to
people.
attend.
Yeah. Yeah, and even the ones that aren't, they're not that much, so. No deep pockets, just spending my lunch money. Oh, we appreciate it, my friend. We appreciate it.
Like a playground shakedown.
Right? Yeah, I know. Great show tonight, Facebook user says. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. What do we got planned for next week? Do we have anything? What do you guys want to hear?
Yeah, what do you guys want to hear?
What do you guys want to hear? We have a list, but we
live next week. We've got a list that we've got pre-prepared, but if you all have some cool ideas, we'll dig into them.
Yeah. Yeah, just if you got any ideas, and it ain't going to be about that. Not yet, because they've already got this lined up pretty much, and it's going to be a deep dive from what I understand. So it'll be a lot of reading about, bark.
Your favorite topic.
Yeah, my favorite topic. So yeah, if you got any ideas for some shows, by all means.
Shoot them out to us, shoot them in a message, or you can send them over to wildandweirdwv@gmail.com.
Speaking of upcoming stuff, the 25th of July is when my short story book comes out.
Oh, does it?
Yep.
Okay.
Right now it's just ebook, but I'll have paperback and maybe even a hardback version available by then.
Speaking of Brandon's writings, there's also a magazine promo code that we've got. It's our affiliate number, and it is Wild and Weird 23. That's Wild, the letter N, Weird 23, and you're going to get 10% off your first month subscription to Paranormality magazine. These issues come out monthly. They've got tremendous artwork. They're actually better quality than most of your magazines you're going to find on the store shelves. As far as, like, when I say quality, I'm talking about physical texture quality. These things are printed on amazing material. They've got fantastic artwork, great articles, and our very own Brandon here writes in it. And, good times.
Mm-hmm.
So remember,
here's the latest issue. Got very nice paper. It really does.
It really is. They print
really
it on
do.
a heavier grade paper than most magazines. So it stands
I'm
up
impressed with it.
really well.
I'm impressed with it. And also, Brandon, how do they vote for their favorite podcasts, by the way?
Oh, yeah. You have to go on their website, and there is a top 10 link that you have to click on. And you can actually nominate 3 podcasts, and they can all be the same podcast, but you can only vote 3 times with the same email.
That's cool. That's cool. Well, we suggest if you do not vote for us, that you vote for Ashley, because she's here tonight. And
Wednesdays we talk weird. Go check Ashley Hilt's podcast out. Throw her a vote in there as well.
Yep.
And we'll see where we all land.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's all fun and games anyway. It's not like you get anything, but it's a lot of fun, and it's always good to support people who are actually out there doing some good stuff.
Yep.
And I think that's important in this field. We support the people who are doing the good stuff. So
we were all so busy this month, we forgot to mention that altogether.
We did. We completely forgot. Yeah. But it proved you guys were actually listening, because we did it. Two in a row.
It looks like you got a fan there when you were in Withville.
What is it?
Anita Allen said, "I need to catch her podcast. She's so cool in person."
Oh, she is cool. Yeah.
Ashley says, "Vote for both of us so we can tie at number 1." There we go.
There you go. Exactly what I'm saying. Yes.
Then Adam Good says, "I'm a Patreon of the Ashley." Nice.
There you go.
That's right. It's all made up and the points don't matter. So whose line is it anyway? We don't know.
Bingo.
Everybody, thanks for hanging out. This has been a fantastic show. Thanks for suggesting yourself to all of our random antics tonight and our fun little experiment that actually seemed to work.
I
How
don't
about
know.
that?
We're going to do it again.
We'll do it
see.
again.
We got to do it at least 5 more times before I'm comfortable saying that there's something there. But preliminary says, let's go do it again. And we're gonna give it another shot and see what happens. Yeah.
Well, everybody, thanks for hanging out. Remember, if you've had an encounter or you want to share a story with us, head over to wildandweirdwv.com. Click the report a sighting link. Go ahead and send that out. You're going to answer a few short questions, and then we'll be in touch with you. If you've got a episode you want to suggest, you can head over to wildandweirdwv@gmail.com. Just click that and send us some show notes. Anything you want us to pick apart, we'll definitely dig into it and give it our all. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, you know where to find us. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on the TikToks, we're on all of the stuff. You can find us at Wild and Weird something. We are the Wild and Weird Empire. So anything you look up Wild and Weird, it's probably going to be us. And remember, if you focus hard enough, we can manifest Dogman and Chick-fil-A. Stay wild and weird, everybody.
Keep that stuff to yourself, man.